Congressional Black Caucus is calling for the resignation of Attorney General Jeff Sessions, accusing him of lying under oath on more than one occasion. In a statement, the CB says, quote, Attorney General Sessions is unfit to serve as a top law enforcement official in the nation and should resign from the position immediately. As the old saying goes, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Attorney General Sessions is treating Congress and the American people like fools. The CBC, of course, might get his wish as President Donald Trump continues to trash his own AG for recusing himself from the special counsel's investigation into Russian collusion with the Trump campaign.
I want the Attorney General to be much tougher on the leaks from intelligence agencies, which are leaking like rarely have they ever leaked before at a very important level. These are intelligence agencies. We cannot have that happen. You know many of my views in addition to that, but I think that's one of the very important things that they have to get on with. I told you before, I'm very disappointed with the Attorney General, but we will see what happens. Time will tell.
And the Chief of Staff to Sessions says he is not going to resign. Of course, Sessions was the first sitting senator to endorse Trump in February 2016. Yesterday, Trump dismissed Sessions' show of loyalty, telling the Wall Street Journal, quote, they say he endorsed me. I went to Alabama. I had 40,000 people, which was a lie. He was a senator from Alabama. He looks at 40,000 people, which was a lie. And he probably says, what do I have to lose? And he endorsed me. So it's not like a great loyal thing about the endorsement. Last night, again, Sessions' Chief of Staff told the Washington Post, he ain't quitting. All right, let's talk to Congressman Al Green of Houston, member of the Congressional Black Caucus. Congressman, it's clear that Trump has a problem with his Attorney General. And Sessions said, oh, no, only one meeting. Now there are multiple meetings. And it's as if folks say, oh, it's no big deal. It really wasn't a meeting. It was sort of a walk by. He waved at him.
Well, Trump has a problem with a lot of people right now, but specifically as it relates to Sessions, Mr. Sessions unfortunately didn't report his meeting with Kislyak, and now Kislyak and some others are saying that that meeting had a conversation about the campaign as well as some issues related to Russia.
And there were intercepts by American intelligence,
exactly,
where they have exactly what was discussed in that meeting.
Right. And a lot of these intercepts are things that are leaking to the press at appropriate times, it seems. But I would also add this. I'm opposed to Sessions because he's a throwback to the antebellum South. He's the guy who would bring us order and law to the Justice Department. Order and law means that you tell the constabulary, if you will impose order, I will give you the law to support whatever you do. That's of great concern to me. He also supports minimum sentences. This is going to hurt a lot of African Americans who don't get treated fairly in the system. They don't get a pat on the hand and told to go home. They usually find themselves incarcerated. And when they're incarcerated, they then go to trial and they face these sentences. So I'm opposed to him. I was opposed to him being there. Coretta Scott King opposed him in 1986. She said that he was using his power as a U.S. attorney to intimidate elderly black voters. He is bad news. He should never have been there. I hope he resigns.
Well, here's what you also have. You have, of course, many Republicans coming out right now backing Jeff Sessions, frankly, disagreeing with the president for his attacks on Sessions. And so all of a sudden, he's now the victim.
Well, he's always been the darling of the far right, and that's because he...
I mean, even conservative media are going after Trump saying, how dare you basically try to oust Jeff Sessions.
He is sort of a poster child for the far right, and as such, they're going to protect him. He represents the institution that they would like to reinstitute. There are people who want to take us back to those days when the police had unlimited authority. I don't favor that. I oppose that. And I really think that Mr. Sessions, if allowed to stay in that office in an effort to show Trump that he is loyal, will be excessive. He may do things at an extreme that we cannot imagine.
When you see the actions of this president, when you hear his speech last night where he said, I can act more presidential than any president other than Abraham Lincoln, do we need to call the Surgeon General in? First of all, do we even have one? To do a mental assessment of this president?
Well, now that's a fair question, to be quite candid with you, but You have to remember that this is the same president who said that President Obama wiretapped his phones. This is the same president that said that President Obama was not a citizen of the United States of America. He is the same president who believes that there is no Russian involvement in our democracy and our elections. So I think you have to take what he says with a grain of salt. The truth be told, we have a rogue president in the sense of the true definition of the word, rogue. And as a roguish president, you cannot predict what he will do or say. You have to react to it. And one of the reactions that I have is that he should be impeached. This president has done things that are impeachable, and I plan to pursue impeachment.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no.
That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.